What's up, good people? Mark Holmes here, and as always, I want to say thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being a part of the Joe Blue Sports Report. Without you guys, as well as you ladies, you know that this literally does not work. Hope everybody's had a great day. It's been Taco Tuesday. I hope all your taco dreams came true. You know, football, figuring out what's going to happen in football is, I think, actually harder than predicting the weather. At least you can have models that'll kind of show you what might happen and so on. But football is so crazy and hard to predict. You literally can't figure out who's going to win from one week to the next, much less who foresaw the San Francisco 49ers. The San Francisco 49ers having a worse record than the Dallas Cowboys, and both of us missing the playoffs. Well, a lot of us said that, teams don't go back to the Super Bowl, that lose the Super Bowl, and so on. But be that as it may, nobody thought that they would be that bad. How many people thought that with Aaron Rodgers healthy, that the Jets were at least a playoff team, if not a Super Bowl team? Nobody knows. And in fact, I believe about 4 years ago, after Dan quit, famously did his speech about we're going to be a tough team, we're going to have grit, that we're literally, you can knock us down, but we're going to start gnawing off your kneecaps and all that kind of crazy stuff. And after his first season of going 3-13, everybody laughed at that guy, right? They're not laughing right now because they're 15-2. What if they had given up on him after that first year? What if they had? It wouldn't be where they are right now. The thing is, the organization got behind him fully. They got people, a general manager that worked with him completely. They got ownership that didn't play games. They believed in him. So when you see all the things that the Lions have done in drafting, and instead of waiting till the end of training camp to sign, like Penny Sewell and things like that, that they've gone out free agency and made sure that they had a running game and things, and that they supported the quarterback, a quarterback who was much maligned. And I think you may need to have a little bit of revisionist history when we now look at some of the quarterbacks that are in the playoffs. Although Sam Darnold had a rough go of it this past week, Sam Darnold, everybody thought, was a bust in New York and in Carolina. People looked at Baker Mayfield as a bust with Tampa Bay, and now all of a sudden look at him. The Rams, they said, we're better off with that guy. We're going to trade for Matthew Stafford, and, good luck with that. But you see, those guys who people call bums and busts that nobody wanted, Tampa Bay, well, one, you realize that maybe there's just places that you don't want to go, that you're going to get the crap beat out of you, and they're not good organizations. Cleveland, it seems like it doesn't matter who you are. If you're in Cleveland as a quarterback, you're screwed. Same thing with the Jets. Aaron Rodgers has always been a diva, but he ain't been that bad. It's something with those organizations. But those teams took those quarterbacks and they supported them and they gave them and their coaches what they needed. Now, we know that the Bears wanted to talk to Mike McCarthy, and they still can, next Tuesday after 3 o'clock, I believe it is. If Mike McCarthy wants to. But see, the Cowboys, if it's not just about creating drama and scenarios so that way you can have, extra work for your family, for Jerry. If it's actually about winning, take a look at those organizations and what they did to support their quarterback and their coach and see where they are now. I don't see that happening in Dallas. I would love to see that opportunity because I look at it and say, where Sam Darnold was with the Jets and Carolina, you said he's just a straight bum. But regardless of what you hear from the talking heads, here's the reality. The quarterback is only as good as the pieces around him. Brock Purdy, I'm not going to say forgot how to play football. Brock Purdy was a product of his environment. Without Brandon Ayuk, without Christian McCaffrey, he was asked to do more than what he had to do before. And it became a lot harder. And his performance suffered. When you took a Baker Mayfield who was basically run out of town and you put him on a team that supported what he did and got him weapons, he could perform. Same thing with Jared Goff. It's not just Jared Goff. It's everybody there. And the same can be said about Jalen Hurts. Having a cast of characters matter. And if the Cowboys, I'm actually happy. I am so relieved that somebody else wanted Mike McCarthy to force the Cowboys' hand. They've had to tip their hat. They basically had to say, you by denying them a time to see him, that says, at worst case, we're thinking that he needs to be here. Or we're scared about losing him. That's what it says. And that helps the negotiation for Mike McCarthy. And my hope is that the Cowboys give up a little bit of the control of what happens on the regular basis on what takes place in the field. You can't sit here and say, you're the coach, but you don't let them coach. And you can do that and still work with your family, Jerry. But just think how great it would be. Think about how great it would be, because after hearing you on Landman, when you talk about what's your family and all that, how great would it be this time to be out there holding up a Lombardi trophy with your grandkids? You couldn't do that before. That, Jerry, that should be your goal. You want to be at that Super Bowl with your family, all of the generations that are there. And if it takes letting Mike McCarthy have a little bit more say on how he wants to try and run the team, and it takes a little bit more money or possibly being in cap hell in the future, I don't see how that's a bad thing. I'm going into this off season having hope until it's wiped out, until it's dashed. This season has been rough on me because I always try to find the positive side of things. But the way this season had went, I completely lost my way. I completely lost my way. But now, I'm back to at least hoping that we do something different, at least until it's proven wrong. I appreciate you guys being here, being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. On my cooking channel, for those out there that have been asking about recipes and stuff, I've got the first recipe from today, the Peruvian chicken that I cooked. And man, oh my God, that chicken was so good. That recipe's on there. I'll have the green sauce and the turnip greens. I got to edit those and put them together and put them on there. But I'm going to be trying to make sure I'm cutting back on the sweets, cutting back on eating processed food, and definitely cutting out on fast foods. I'm trying to stay here as long as possible. So hopefully I'll be around the next time the Cowboys win a Super Bowl. And I don't know how soon that's going to be, so I need to make sure I can live as long as possible. So check out Cooking and Tailgating with Joe Boo. And I appreciate that. And remember, good people, tell the people you love how much you love them, because you might not get the chance again. I love you guys. And God willing, I'll see you tomorrow. Cowboys for life. Peace.